The Trinnov Altitude 16 was originally a 16-channel processor when it was first released. However, after it was released, I'm not sure exactly how long, a year or two, it was after it was released, Trinnov increased the capacity from 16 channels to 20 channels. And they did that by utilizing the two digital outputs here on the back of the processor. One of them being a coaxial digital output and the other being a digital audio output. And there are two channels per output. So the coaxial output, when you connect up to it, it actually outputs a left and a right, which Trinov was able to utilize to send discrete signals to each one. And same with the digital audio. Now, in order to access these four additional channels, because again, you get two with the coaxial plus two with the digital audio. So in order to access these four additional channels, you need to implement a DAC, or digital to analog converter. And so what you have is a digital signal coming out. You have to convert it to analog and then send it on to your amplifier. Now, I am going to demonstrate how to do this by using this DAC, or digital to analog converter, from Topping, the Velvet E70. Now, this video is sponsored by Topping. I reached out to them. I explained that I was going to be explaining in a video how to utilize these four additional channels, and asked them if they'd like to provide the equipment to do that, and they did so. And so thank you, Topping, for sponsoring this video. So I'm going to demonstrate how to do this with the Topping DAC. Now, you can use other DACs, but I'll be demonstrating how to do it with the Topping Velvet E70. So this is something that in theory should be pretty straightforward, but I'm going to be honest with you. I have been trying for quite some time to make this work, and it has taken quite a bit. So I'm going to show you how to do it. And when I explain how to do it, you're going to be like, that is so easy. Why would it take you so long to figure this out? Well, I've run into a number of problems, and I'm just going to cut to the end, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So it's very, very simple. For my purposes, I use the coaxial output. Like I say, you can use the digital audio. I didn't have a digital audio cable on hand, but I do have a coax RCA cable. So you just connect up a digital RCA cable. It's just a simple RCA cable, and into the output on the Trinnov Altitude 16, and then you connect the other end of it into the coaxial input on the Topping E70 DAC. And then you connect up the output. In my case, I'm using the RCA outputs on the Topping. One will go to one of my subwoofers, and then the other one, the left one, to one of my subwoofers, and then the right output to my other subwoofer. Now, in my case, the reason why I need these extra four channels is that, like I mentioned, the Altitude 16, when it was first released, has 16 XLR outputs. But here in my theater, I have a 9.4.4 Dolby Atmos setup, which means I have 9 bed layer speakers, 4 subwoofers, and 4 height channels. That is a total of 17 channels, but there are only 16 XLR outputs. So what I've done is I've connected up my, let's see, it would be 13 speakers to 13 of the XLR outputs, and then I've utilized 2 of the XLR outputs to go to 2 of my subwoofers, and that leaves only 1 empty XLR output, and I need 2 more channels. And so that's where the DAC comes in, where I'm using the digital output. And so 2 of the subwoofers are connected up through the DAC. So that is kind of an explanation of why I need to use that, is because I just have so many channels. I remember back in the day, this is off topic, but I remember back in the day when a 5.1 was like the height of technology. Like, that was incredible. And then they came out with 7.1, and it just kind of blew my mind. I'm like, oh my gosh, 7 speakers in a home theater. Oh, that's amazing, you know, and a subwoofer. That's incredible. If you'd told me back then that a day would come when I would be using 17 channels in my home theater, it would have just blown my mind. I would not have been able to process that information, if you will. So anyways, yes, it is a lot of fun. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go through the process of configuring the Topping E70 Velvet DAC. Now, again, your settings may differ slightly depending on which input you're using, whether you're using the RCA input or the optical audio input. It will also depend on which outputs you're using. Are you using the RCA outputs or are you using the XLR outputs? But everything else should be pretty much identical to what I'm doing. So the way this works is you have it powered off, and then what you do is you press and hold this button right here. So it's a button, but it's also a knob. So what you do is you press and hold the button, and while you're holding the button, you power it on the back. And then it enters setup mode. So starting with A1, and here's where you have to use the instructions because you won't be able to determine what any of these things mean without the instruction manual. So A1 is the first thing. This is the setting for which mode you're going to use when it powers on. And so you have A1, and then you have A2, and you have AC. And so the way you navigate this is to choose between the different options. You go left and right on the scroll bar on the remote. So you press over, and then it goes through the different options. Once you have the one that you select, the one that you want it to be set on, then you use the up button on the remote, right there, the up button, to then advance to the next option or the next setting. So right now we're selecting the power and standby settings. So the default is A1. That's the one where it's just on standby until it senses that there's an active signal being sent to it, and then it will power on. So that's the one I use, is just A1. That's the default one. So I leave it on that setting, and then pressing the up button to advance to the next. So what this is off. This is Bluetooth. I have Bluetooth turned off. You'll see the little BT that stands for Bluetooth. You can have it selected to on, but since I'm not using Bluetooth, I just leave it at off. Then I press the up button to advance to the next one, MD. Okay, so again, looking at the instructions, and they're not super clear. You have to scan through the page until you find what MD stands for, or what option that is. Okay, so this is the output mode setting. So you have two options here. You have MD and you have MP. MP is the preamp mode. And this is the one where you have the option to adjust the volume using this knob here. I don't want to do that. I just want the DAC mode. And so the DAC mode is MD. So I leave it on MD, and now I press the up button to advance to the next setting, which is the remote control setting. And this is where RO is the remote control is enabled, and then RC is the remote control is disabled. I want the remote control to be enabled, so I'm going to set it to RO, and I'm going to press up to advance to the next setting. This is, let's see, CBDB. Okay, yep, this is the one. This is channel balance setting. This is where you can set a range for left, right. I just leave it on this where it's 0, 0. Don't mess with this. I don't see any reason why you would need to adjust this. This is the default setting, so just leave it at 0, 0, and then hit the up button to advance to the next. F3, this is the PCM filter setting. this is interesting. I'm not entirely sure what these are. The descriptions are, so you have F1, F2, F3, all the way up to F6. And the explanation is sharp roll off, slow roll off, and then the default setting is sharp roll off, short delay. And then you have slow roll off, short delay, a lot of options, but the default option is F3, which is sharp, roll off, short delay. So I'm just going to leave it at F3. That's why I have it set on. That seems to be working well. So I will then advance to the next setting. L, this is the display. This is the display option, and I'm sorry, no, it's not. Nope. L is the display. LU, this is the voltage output. LU4 is the default. You can do 5-volt output. I just have it set to 4. That's the default. You should be fine just leaving it on that. And then advance to the next setting. This is the screen display level. Basically, it's low, medium, or high. And then LA is mid brightness, and screen will be turned off automatically after 30 seconds of no operation. So this one, yeah, I have it set to LA auto, so it just turns off after no operation. So then you advance to the next one, and A1, we're back to the beginning. So A1, so these are all of the settings, and then you press the middle button right here to save all of the settings, and it'll say 8.8, and then it will turn off. And those are all the settings. So that's the initial setup. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like to set the output and the input. So we're going to power it on. And then we have this. We have, let's see here. So here are the different options for output. And you select that by pressing the line out button on the remote. So you have the option of XLR, or you have the option of both RCA and XLR, or just RCA. Now in my case, I am using only RCA, so I leave it set to that. Now, the other option is the input. And right now you see the COA, so coax, that's short for coax. And the way you select that is you use the side to side buttons. So pressing forward, or not forward, but advancing, so hit the next button. You'll see Bluetooth is turned off. The other option is USB. Optical, so if you were using the optical audio, you would leave it set to this. In my case, it's coax, so I set it to that, and then I'm good. And then it auto senses what frequency the output is on from the Trinnov, and then it brings that up, so you don't need to worry about that. So basically what you're looking for is you want to verify that the output is set correctly, or sorry, the input, in my case it's coax. If you were using optical audio, then you would want it to say, be selected to optical. But in my case, it's coax, and then the RCA output that you get right there. Mine says RCA, but if you were using the XLR output, then you would want it to say XLR. Or if you're using both, then you would have both set. So those are the settings for the Topping E70 Velvet. Once you get everything connected up, as I've explained, where it's all physically wired up the way you need it, then the next step is to go into the Trinnov interface. So open up a web browser, go to your connection, through the web browser to the Trinnov, and then you click over to the configuration or calibration option. It's up on the bar up on top, and it's all the way to the right. And then that opens up the screen where you start to go through the calibration process. And down at the bottom of that screen there's a checkbox where basically you say to utilize those 4 additional channels. So make sure that box is checked. and then click over into next, and then you select your configuration. Now, again, in my case, I have a 9.4.4. So from that drop down, I just select 9.1.4 because that's the closest configuration to my setup. Once you get to that, then you go to the option to add additional speakers. So in my case, I need to add in 3 additional subwoofers. So you select to add the extra speaker, and then it'll bring up another window. And then from that drop down, I just select Atmos, and then that'll open up a new option to add a sub. And then I just add a sub, and then I just do that 2 more times. And then down on the list of channels below, I have 4 subwoofers as options. And so all the way to the right of each one of those lines, each line being a different channel, for each of those subs, that's where you specify which output is going to which sub. And so I have, in my case, subwoofer 1 and subwoofer 2. Those are utilizing output 9 and output 10. And those are the XLR outputs here on the back of the Trinnov Altitude 16. Now for the 2 additional channels, it's going to be output 17 and output 18, because those are the ones that go through the coax, the RCA coax output on the Trinnov. Now, if I were using the digital audio output, those would be outputs 19 and 20. So if you're using the digital audio output, that's where you would specify 19 and 20. But in my case, I'm using 17 and 18. And then you use the generate pink noise button there, the next to where you specify the output on the dropdown. Hit that and just verify that you're getting sound through the sub or the speaker that you're using or utilizing these extra outputs, and verify that they're working. And then you just click through and go through with the calibration process, and you're on your way. So anyways, like I say, it is simple. It is simple, but I ran into so many problems along the way. One of them was, for whatever reason, the cables I was using from between the DAC and the subwoofer, the cable wasn't working. I pulled the RCA cable out and I tried another cable, and then it started working. So I encountered problems like that. My advice to you would be, don't give up. If it's not working, don't give up. It does work. I have verified that it does work. It just takes persistence. Again, and it can be something as simple as just having to swap a cable, that the cable's not good. So yeah, this is pretty cool. This is a good feature that Trinnov added to this Altitude 16. Like I say, I mean, it's called the Altitude 16 because it started out with 16 channels, and then after it had already been released, they're like, you know what, we could actually add 4 more for a total of 20. So it's a 20 channel processor, which is just incredible. Hopefully this is helpful, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. I try to get to all the comments, but honestly, it is a lot. I get a lot of questions, and so I hopefully I'll see it. If you have any questions, just leave them down below, and thanks for watching.